a kind of face-to-face video for this journal update, actually a year-end journal update, because I know I've been doing a lot of kind of cameras facing the journal, journal updates, and vlogging, but I know you guys are here for the journal items, and so I wanted to come on here and kind of give you a final countdown of how many journals I've gone through this year, my thoughts on the Midori, and any changes that I plan on making to this guy right here. So to kind of recap 2015 journal-wise, this was something that I had decided to get. I think I ordered in late January. I got it in February, so my first actual journal entry for 2015 was in February in this Midori. Before that, I was using a lot of random journals, whatever journals that caught my fancy in the stores. Mostly my journals came from Moleskine, and then certain brands at Barnes & Noble that I would find. And so to kind of go through what I've used prior to the Midori inserts is, this was number 38, and so this kind of was the beginning of the journal of this year. So this was one that I picked up at Crate & Barrel. I just loved it because it was kind of old-timey, made to look like an old book. It had 3 different sections of 3 different types of paper. So there was lined, grid paper, and then blank paper, which I really liked. And then moving on to 39, which I labeled 39 1.1, 1.2, and 1.3. These were small notebooks that I got from, I think I picked them up at Anthropology one time. Really smooth paper, but very small, and so I couldn't really write as much as I wanted to, and I have a tendency to collect a lot of memorabilia, things that just hold memories for me. I like to slip them into my journals, and so this really didn't allow for a lot of that space. And choosing journals sometimes this size can be very bulky. And as you can see, I've kind of bulked it up with photos and pasting things in. And so sometimes this didn't really meet the requirements that I wanted it to. So 38, 39, those were the journals that I was using at the time when I switched over to my Midori. Prior to that, I was using a lot of just journals that I really liked, but none of them were uniform. And so when I switched over to the Midori, I really found that I liked the uniform look of all of my inserts being the same size. And doing a count now, so for not counting the 2 journals that I showed you then, all just Midori inserts, I've got 15 inserts already done, 16 including the one that is in my journal right now to end out the rest of 2015. So that is actually a good idea for me to keep in the back of my head coming into 2016, how many inserts to expect to have in stock, how many to buy. I did kind of go back and forth between, say, the regular insert paper versus the number 13, which is my favorite insert paper, which is the really ultra thin paper. So it's actually double the amount of pages that are in here, which I prefer because there's just a lot more that I can utilize. It's just thinner paper that I enjoy writing on. And I just like the overall feel of this insert. I feel that once I kind of keep it consistently in the number 13 insert, I'll actually probably have less notebooks going into 2016. So that's kind of a fun thought. I really wanted to just kind of take a look at how many inserts that I've used up for the past year. And kind of as an overall review, I do like this type of insert. I think this is a great one for travel if you don't plan on journaling too much. There's, I think, 64 pages in the regular insert. This is, I think, the very first one that I got in with my Midori notebook when I ordered it. And I also have some Happy Scrappy notebooks kind of thrown in here, so these were kind of fun. A lot of them came with like a theme on it, which is cool if you like not having to decorate a lot. This actually comes kind of sort of pre-decorated for you, but I found that a little restricting. I like having the blank pages for me to do what I want. So as much as I love the subscription, I feel like I like to stick to just blank paper to journal with. So that was a nice, happy discovery. But all the same, I very much enjoyed these journal inserts. Another one, I think you've seen this in my updates, my journal updates video. I talked about the Moleskine Chapters notebook. It's built for more of kind of like a story outlining format. So if you're into writing stories, short stories, or you're planning out a plot, this is a great one to have because obviously it's broken it into chapters. And I believe it comes with 7 sections, and then in the back there are faintly dotted or little bulleted lines for you so you can check things off. I've got some criticisms with this one. First of all, it's got kind of these like blank pages separating the chapters, which in the end I feel like just breaks up the flow of the writing for me. I could have utilized this for journaling, but it just seemed like for me when I journal, like I said, I like to have the blank pages. And also the binding wasn't done very well. So if you can see that, this was actually ripped apart by the thread that was holding, or the string that was holding my Midori. So it happened to both sides. And the only reason that it was kept together is because of the stitching on the 2 sides here. So I felt like it just really wasn't well made. It doesn't hold up very well. And I feel like if you were to use this as a travel journal or something, it wouldn't hold up. So those are my thoughts on the Chapters journal. You can hear more about that in the video that I can link down below where I talk about that. Pan Am. I went through an obsession with Pan Am items. Both of these traveled with me to London and Manchester. First of all, I had planned on just bringing the one, but at the last minute, because knowing that I journal so much and I'd be utilizing a lot of the space for pasting in brochures and things like that, I decided to bring an extra one, and thankfully that was one of the best decisions I made because I ended up filling both. One for Manchester and one for London. We spent 2 weeks there, a lot of happy memories, and the first one was just blank paper, like that. So it was just 64 pages, and then the second Pan Am insert actually had the grid paper, and upon using that, I don't know if you can see the grid paper, but upon using this insert, I actually discovered I very much like the grid paper format. I'm not into the line paper inserts. For some reason, it doesn't work for me, but grid paper seems to work. So that was a nice, happy discovery with this insert. And I just love the classy look of the 2 inserts. They just look so, it really brings out the time of classy travel and everybody looking their best. So I like that it evokes that feeling, and I love that these were a part of the whole journaling process of being in England. So looking at the collection, I'm very happy with going with the Midori. I had used, I think, birthday money early in January and decided to get the Midori because, as I'd mentioned, I was using a lot of just random journals that didn't have that kind of uniform look. I'd done a lot of research on the Midori, watched a lot of reviews and videos, and really checked it out before deciding on this. At first I was thinking, oh, maybe I'll just get a kind of cheaper version to try it out, but I thought, you know what, if I'm going to get something really nice, I better invest. And so I did. Started out with the brown regular Midori. I didn't change the string, I just kept the one that came with it, which is the brown, which I liked. And I got the matching pen loop, I got the business card holder, and then the zip pocket insert. And I haven't really changed the system or how I've set it up since, because I very much enjoy it. I like the simplicity and the classic look of it. I love that it travels well. It allows for a lot of space for journaling, a lot of space for you to put things in, pictures and whatnot. But I love that it's customizable too, so the way that I have it set up can be completely different for somebody else, and I love that concept. Since my last journal update, I don't think I've really changed anything aside from I have the little bunny charm on there on top of what it says, the underground. So it's a little piece of kind of England for me. I still have the same pictures, which I'm going to change out. Haven't really had time to develop some pictures from our trip to England, which I want to add to the business card holder here. Pretty much the same contents of stickers in here. I haven't really moved anything around. I think I've added some Pan Am things, and there's some stickers from Bath, or not stickers, stamps from Bath from our trip that are in here. In the back of that, though, I did use that as stickers that I wanted to use up. I would put on the back here, so every time I opened the journal, they would be right here. And currently I'm on journal number 55, so that should be actually ending soon with all the photos that I'm going to be putting in. I think I've got a good like 15 pages left. And so once I've got that, I will be moving into another number 13 insert. I'd like to stick to this insert type for the majority of 2016 if I can. I do have a few other inserts. I think I bought a couple grid paper inserts from England, from JP London Books, and I think a couple other Pan Am inserts that I do want to use up. But if I can help it, I definitely want to stick to the number 13 because that is my preferred insert. In the back, I haven't really changed much. I do still keep the graph paper as a guideline to slip underneath a piece of paper, so I can use that to keep writing straight lines, as well as to soak up ink from my pens from the previous page that I just finished. I do keep these Midori brand, you can't see it right here, but these are little pockets, so only the edges are sticky, and so there's a little slot opening here at the top so you can slip in business cards and little memorabilia and things. So I've taken to carrying a sheet of those in with my Midori, and then in the back I do have some of the same photos and such. So I feel like when I do these journal updates, it's more or less just me telling you what I've finished, because when it comes to the actual setup, as you can see, not much changes. But I am so happy that I've gone to the Midori. I can't imagine ever going to anything else again. Once in a while when I go to Barnes & Noble or I go to a cool stationery shop, I see some cool notebooks and I think, oh, this would be a really great journal. I'd love to write in this. But in the end, I feel like if I bought it, I would still just go back to this because I just love writing in this. Carrying it with me, the weight of it, the look of it, it just makes me so happy. And so I've not looked back. So this was a great investment. I'm glad I spent the money on it. I just love it. I just love the feel of it. If you've watched my vlog, or if you haven't watched my vlog and you're just tuning in for the first time, I have an essentials pouch that I usually keep with my Midori. So if I'm around the house and I don't feel like getting up to get something, or if I know I'm going to be dropping by a cafe and I've got some time to journal, I will usually carry essentials pouch with me. This one is a Cath Kidston pouch with little Scotty dogs on it that I got in my trip to England. And I believe they sell these online, so if they do, I will link that below. Inside I just keep just a few things with. I've also got a little booklet of Sumiko Garashi's stickers, so kind of give you a flip through. It's the whole gang. Really cute. I really can't stand to use this, but I really should, so I keep that in there. And this was actually living in my Midori, but I decided that writing on this, because it kind of pressed down on the paper, it really kind of bothered me, so I usually keep like a little journal card of paper clips, so in case I do want to paper clip some memories to my journal pages, I've got that. Merchant & Mills Draper Baby Bow Scissors. This is the actual like packaging that the mini scissors came in. I keep the scissors elsewhere, but I just really like the packaging. It doesn't add a lot of bulk, so I just kept it in here. I usually have a glue stick, so this time around it's the Elmer's Craft Bond Repositional Glue Stick. I usually don't like the repositional ones. I like the ones that are permanent, but this is just what I happen to have. These are Muji scissors, so they actually come in a very compact sort of packaging with a clip on it. And it's spring-loaded, Not the best scissors, honestly. It can cut through one piece of paper at a time. It can't be thick paper because otherwise it does that kind of wonky sideways thing. But if you need to cut through washi, in a pinch you need a pair of scissors, this is a good thing to have. And I will say that the cover is kind of cracked in a few places, and it cracked very easily. So I might actually switch that out for a better pair of scissors. A few writing utensils. I've got a backup to my pen of choice, which is the Uniball Vision in fine point. It's waterproof. It comes off more as a medium point, which is what I like. I've got a Muji calligraphy pen, so it's kind of got a brush tip. So I'm trying to kind of teach myself lettering, which would be really fun. This I love. This is a Midori Traveler's Notebook pencil, which you can actually detach right here. You can buy the refills for these pencils, slip them in and out, and stick it in here. So it's just a nice compact bullet with a refillable eraser as well. So this came in handy while I was on my trip. This is a Muji .5 gel pen, so kind of a medium point right there. These are really great pens. Muji makes great pens. And this is my fountain pen of choice, which is the Bauer, I think that's how you pronounce it, in a medium point tip. So I very much enjoy using fountain pens. So this is a great beginner one because it's affordable. It cost me, I think, $2.30. So if you don't mind waiting a month to get it, this is a good one to try out if you're experimenting with fountain pens. Then I usually have some clips with me. I have a duck paper clip kind of thrown in there, some silver mini bulldog clips, little bunny, I think these are the Midori brand paper clips. And then I've got usually a few things of sticky flakes, so if I'm bookmarking something I can do that. And so that all pretty much lives in this pouch right here. Kind of zips up. I like that it keeps it thin and compact, so when I'm going with my Midori I can bring this along and it kind of just is a nice little travel pack. So as I said, no real changes to the Midori. I'm actually getting excited on setting up my new one for the new year. Another feature that I do want to mention is whenever I start a new insert, I always number it. And in the front, where it always has that kind of square here, I really like to put art stickers there, and I will continue that with the new year. So I'm actually looking forward to doing that. And that's pretty much how I set up my notebook, is I number it, I put in the new sticker that I want to kind of reflect that time period that I'm using the insert, and I might do a few pages of decorating to kind of get it started so it's ready to insert into my Midori. But aside from that, I kind of journal and decorate as I go because it really depends on how my mood is and what I'm feeling, because how I decorate kind of reflects that. So that's it, guys. That is my journal update, end of year 2015 count of journals. I will even show you how many inserts have been filled since I've started with the Midori. And these bins actually fit them pretty nicely. They can stand up like that, so if I do have inserts with quite a bit of bulk like this, they kind of slip right in and stack up nicely. So that's kind of how I got my journals stored right now while I've kind of been in between moves. I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you enjoyed watching, and I am wishing you guys all happy journaling in 2016. So thanks for watching, guys. Click the like button if you enjoyed, and subscribe for more journaling videos. Bye!